Okay, everyone, I will explain to my answer. Part 1. Explain about the famous writer in the Greek theater, including the race works, at least finding the person described about their artwork also. First, Aristophanes was a playwright who wrote writing. He wrote 40 plays, 11 surviving incomplete manuscripts from the several surviving in the fragments. Aristophanes' fame was spared because he saw the famous Athenian. His work not only had an artistic influence on later theatrical art, but are also historical documents on life in Athens. One of his works, The Bird and the Crows, Sophocles, is a sad story writer who was written 123 works during his lifetime. Only seven survive today, including classic songs as Antigone, Oedipus the King, and the Electra. He developed the art of the theater by aiding the third actor, reducing the importance of the chorus, and introducing scenography. Sophocles also abolished trilogy and traditional tragedies, and made each performance complete. This added to the value of drama in the performance. 2. Explain the origin of tragedy and why the tragic drama becomes famous in the Greek theatre. Tragedy deals with the big themes of love, loss, pride, abuse of power, and the fraught relationship between men and gods. Typically, the main protagonist of the tragedy commits some tribal crime without realizing how foolish and arrogant he has been. Then, as he slowly realizes his error, the world crumbles around him. The three great Freiburg and tragedy were Achilles, Sophocles, and Euripides. 3. How they perform the drama at the Greek theatre gives the detailed information. Only one actor who performs in costume and wear masks, allowing him to impersonate gods. Here we can see perhaps the link to early religious ritual where proceeding might have been carried out by priests. Later, the actor will often speak to the leader of the chorus, a group of up to 5 actors, all male, who sang and listened but did not speak. This innovation decreased to text speech. Uh, 520 BCI origin of the word thespian. The actor also changed costume during of the performance, using a small tent behind the stage, the scene which would later develop into a monumental figure, and so break the play into distinct episodes. Later, these would develop into musical interludes. Eventually, their actors were permitted on stage, but no more a limitation which allowed for equality between boats in competition. 4. Explain about the amphitheater, the size, the condition, and diagram of theater. Gives the picture and explain more detail. Amphitheatron meaning on both sides, or around freestanding wheel of building of round, more often oval shapes with central area. The arena and seats conceptually placed around it, toward the street, meaning the theatre with seats all all sides. 5. Explain about the Dionysius. Dionysius. Dionysius become known as the god of theatre of the perhaps. There is another connection. The drinking ritual which resulted in the works were losing for control of their emotion and effect become another person, much as actor hypocrite hope to do when performing the music and dance denunciates ritual was most often in the role of the chorus and the music provided by an onlus player, but rhythmic elements were also preserved in the use of first third high trommeter and iambic trommeter in the delivery of the spoken words. Time to part two. Number one. Explain about the famous playing written Elizabeth Theatre including their works, except William Shakespeare, at least finding the person described about their works also. First, Christopher Marlowe, 1564 until 1593, was a troubled boy in Canterbury who was educated at Town Grammar School and Cambridge. As one of the figures of the Renaissance movement, Marlowe always interpreted his ideas and ideals through works of drama. A particular feature of the Renaissance people was to always strive for individual freedom and power through science, money, or politics. His work, The Tragic History of Dr. Faulkner's Wisdom on the Creed for Power through Science. In this drama, Dr. Faustus is acknowledged Hungison's gives next of fact with the devil Mephistopheles in order to master all kinds of knowledge and powers. Second, Thomas Kidd, 1558 until 1594, is the author of the Spanish tragedy, the revenge tragedy that sparked the only popular trend but the same revenge Elizabeth's Jacobean drama. But even more important in the history of English drama, he was it a stroke of playwright called our Hamlet. Is the It is the story Hamlet that Shakespeare used for the famous play, and just like Shakespeare play, it explores the repeat theme, or perhaps it's more accurate to say that Shakespeare play explore the repeat theme just a kid played it. Number two, explain the work of William Shakespeare's the name of character, the characterization of each character, the plot summary, and the list pending to our books. First, Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy by William Shakespeare written early in his career. This tragedy tells the story of young couple who fall in love with each other, but are hindered because their two families are hostile to each other. Second, The Tempest is a comedy or romance play by William Shakespeare, written circa 1610 until 1611. This play tells the story of Prospero, the Duke of Milan, and the master magician, who was overthrown by his opponent finally stranded on uninhabited island. The hurricane had brought his enemies to shores. Prospero bets the people will. Number three, explain A. The condition of England in the Black Death Plague old and how they can solve the problem. Was several pandemic that first in Europe in the mid to late 14th century, 1347 until 1351, and killed one-third, two-thirds, and Europe's population. All the theatres were closed for a year. Many mayors sought to avoid public. gathering and even faith acting campaigns not performed if a new outbreak of love was present. present. B. Why the becomes the obstacle in the Elizabethan period? Because all the theatres are closed and meetings are cancelled. C. What is Puritan? Puritan, to be exact, the English Puritans of the 16th and 17th centuries were numbers of religions group book champions. Purity, purity of the doctrine worship, as well as personal and congregational faith. D. Why does the Puritan have to theatre? Puritan thought of theatre as fully understandable place where only these idle, immoral, and criminal elements of society captured. They considered their subject matter, especially plots with the vengeance, murder, and romance, unstable for the commoners and likely to corrupt their minds, much like some modern critics of violent cinema from Number 4. Explain about the theater, the size, definition, and the diagram of theater in the Elizabeth period. Gives the picture. Explain more detail. And Elizabeth's playhouse had a smaller capacity than the Greek theatre, usually 2,300 people when spectator sits in one of three stories that nearly encircle the stage. The small size of Elizabethan theatre was the made for greater intimacy between actor and audience and to be easily heard and seen. 5. Explain more about the Renaissance period and what the effect the Renaissance was a grand period the European culture, artistic, political, and economic rebirth. Following the Middle Ages, generally described as taking place from the 15th century to the 17th century. The Renaissance promotes the discovery of classical philosophy, literature, and art. Some of the greatest thinkers, authors, statesmen, scientists, and artists in human history thrived during this era. The global exploration, component of new land and culture to European commerce. To Renaissance credited with bridging gap between the Middle Age and modern day civilization. Thank you.